So what I have here is a nice hole in the back deck, and this is what I pulled out. So they don't make patch panels for this, so I rigged up a like a buck, like a metal buck. I had some of that square tubing left over from another project, and got a crude weld. So this is it. Okay, so I got the other piece and I measured out the landing, you know, the rise and fall of it, and then this is what I got. Okay, so I'm going to sit here and pound away at this. I've got another couple inches to go, and then I'm going to test it, see how it goes. I'm using my new Craftsman. I didn't want to use my mom's because it was possible I was going to break it, because I did break this. So the head came off when I was tapping away here. So what I'm doing now is I'm just holding this here and then hitting the hammerhead of my ball peen to the head of this. I'm just using the handle as a stabilizer. So let me get to it. Hopefully you can see. It's about a nice 28 degrees outside right now. I'm a little cold, but we're gonna work on this. What I've been banging around on. It ain't perfect, but I think I can make it work, and it's honestly it's going to be covered up underneath carpet anyway. So the landing and the fall, you know, the highs and lows are fairly close to where they would need to be. Got a little bit of a be able to take a hammer to it and give it a little whammo, but we're pretty close. Not bad for a piece of scrap and a hammer. Alright, well I think it's somewhat fitted. I am going to have to hammer dolly a little bit, but like I said, it's going to be under carpet. So I'm going to go ahead and start tacking it in, and hopefully my rise and falls land fairly close enough that it won't really be terrible to notice. Then we're going to start on the wheel well. If I was putting body filler on this, you'd never know it was there. I mean, I could grind down more, but I really don't want to. And this is just like a little lip of the weld that I built up. I mean, I had to fill gaps, but that is what was there. Here we go. It's way better. Got that rubberized coating underneath, so I tried getting it with a wire wheel to clear off just so I wouldn't catch fire, but I had a couple little flames let loose. Next, right here along this, I'm going to cut a little bit out, and then I'm going to shape a new piece for the corner there, and then I'm going to weld on, then I'm going to keep on going. I don't have the skill right now to, or even the attention span to do it all at once, and that is an awful lot of cutting. Alright, so this is what I come up with for the corner over here. Zoom in right there. Looks pretty bad. Simple skirt, you know, just going to run around the end. But I can't really figure out how to bend the piece and then get that curve. So I just put a bunch of cuts in there, and I'm just going to tack those. But this seems to fit, so now I have to figure out how I'm going to assemble all this so the skirt belongs on the inside. I can bend that in place. This is the first thing that has to get in there, and it has to be lined up right. So let me get to it. Okay, I've just got this like sitting up there, a couple magnets holding it up. This is just for, I guess, placement. The wheel well, this one is meant for a not a wide track, so a narrow track. So I'm going to end up cutting a lot further up, from like right here all the way up and down. Well, if you've been following my channel for a long time, you realize that I do have ADHD, and I do like two things, but then I'm thinking 4 or 5 steps ahead. So I took the panel off because I suspected that there was rust back here, and sure enough there was. So I just cut out a bunch, cleaned it up with the wire wheel the best I could. There's some internal frame paint on there, and I'm going to try welding up those pieces. My panel fits fairly well, with the exception of the wheel well, because this is a wide track, so it's got a different wheel well. So I cut this flush, and we'll figure out what to do with this next. I suspect I'll be up under here welding another piece to match the new fender well, which is a bushwhacker. So this is the new fender. It's a bushwhacker, and the panel, I will have to cut this right here to match that fender at some point. I just don't know, and I will have to cut the fender as well to make it match. There's instructions online to do it, but this was the best alternative to not having fenders at all. Man, I tell you, this wind whipping last night, it's actually making it a little difficult to be out here. Just ground down a little bit right here, and I cut the little section there. It's about 1 foot long, 1 inch by 1 inch for a 90-degree corner, and then a flat piece that goes on the actual wheel well itself. So I'm just taking a little bit at a time. There's nothing supporting that right now. The only thing that supports it is, let's see if you can see my finger here. Right here in those sections is where the frame is. That raised bump there, there's nothing under it. I don't know why it's like that, but okay, whatever. Alright, my Black Friday, I spent some money, just like everybody else, but I bought myself some jack stands. Kind of a weird gift for myself, but look how tall they say they can go. 31.5 inches. They're called medium height black bull. I got these from Tractor Supply, and I started opening it, but I wanted to see like how beefy these things are. I bought this because my Harbor Freight ones, you know, they're, I think, what, 6-ton maybe? They're small, and they're good for lifting a vehicle up from the axle, as you can see down there. But take a look at these. Okay, I've got this one lifted at max height. This one's at its lowest. Well, not even at low, because you just take the pin out and it's at its low. But this, I mean, that's taller than the frame. So, pretty beefy. They feel pretty sturdy. They're meant for big trucks and RVs. So I'm gonna go with it. I got 4 of them. I want to get the body lifted off. I am considering it, I should say, lifting the body off and you know, rolling the chassis out. But I'm not sure I'm gonna do that. I don't know. But either way, I've got these beefy jack stands here to lift it off the ground high enough that I can sit under there comfortably and not break back. Let's start cutting out some floor. It's completely rotten up here underneath this panel. I just got it sitting there, move it out of the way. I have to cut the seatbelt out. I have to cut all along the back there, back in the corner. Same as the passenger side, it's all rotten. Completely rotten through. So we're going to go ahead and replace it all. Even if the patch is too small, I have to patch up the side just like on the other one. I had to patch up like 2 inches, and then I'm going to have to go up the floorboard with it. So let's get to it. Well, I broke that off in there. I even put a lot of heat to it, a little bit too much, because I was a little afraid of catching the whole dang thing on fire because of how much debris is down here. So, just like the passenger side, I've got to cut this one off. So that's what I'm going to do. body frame, and then, well, that's the frame of the vehicle, chassis, and then this is the body frame. So I know that this is going to go to about, right about here, and I'm going to cut all of this out. I'm not familiar with how this was. This thing's rotten. It's like a bolt, just pushed through there. I'm going to end up cutting it off. Just cut all the way around this. At some point I'm going to have to get inside. You know, I spend my money on projects like this, but then neglect the fact that I'd probably need more batteries for my camera, and I don't know why I couldn't get my head wrapped around it. Best thing I had used to get this floor out was actually a air chisel. It was fantastic, so I was able to peel off the flooring way faster than doing it by hand. So, alright, I've come to a conclusion. I'm just going to go ahead and blow apart the body and the chassis from each other. It's gonna happen after I get this floor in, though. So if you stand by with me here, I'm gonna weld this in real quick. Actually, I'm gonna clean it first, gonna weld it in, and then also put in the rocker today. I do need to spray a little bit of paint in here. And I do want to say that I found this new tool on Amazon. It's called a drill brush, and they have multiples. Like pretty sure I have the white one for the bathroom. It might be yellow, I can't remember, but it's been a couple weeks since I used it. But this thing is awesome. So it fits right on your drill, or it fits onto a impact wrench. I'm happy with it. Always check your body bolts. Since I've got the floor out, I went and checked it. I ended up having to use this bad boy right here to hold that nut in there, because the cage broke off when I was trying to undo it. I mean, it spun and loosened pretty quickly, but then it seized up. So now I've got that guy to deal with. I mean, I probably could just drill a hole in the floor right above it and then put a bolt right through. That's kind of how the F100 is, so I might do that. I don't know. I don't know if I want to weld that nut in place. So if this breaks again, geez, what a pain. The others did come out. Like that one I was able to get out right here. And then there was a seatbelt nut, or I'm sorry, a seatbelt bolt and a nut that was there, and it was seized and broke off multiple times, so I just ended up chiseling it out. So I'll put a regular bolt in there. I think I'm going to go ahead and take that cage nut out and just put a hole in the floor. Alright, back to it. So got this mostly prepped. A little bit of rust encapsulator tape type of paint in here. Floorboards are primed on the bottom side. I'm going to lay them in, figure out what I need for. I remember I had to put a bracing on the other one across here, so I'm going to do that again. I do need to climb under there and do a little bit of cleanup along the edge because it caught on fire the last time. So, whoops. Let me get back to it. Alright, we're going under. Let's see if I can zoom out. We're zoomed out. Not that high off the ground, but what I gotta do is, you see the line here, I'm up underneath. got to cut, we'll make a mark and cut where those two are. I added this brace under here just because I wanted a little bit more strength. I did the same to the other side. So we're going to mark it and then cut, weld, good to go. Strongest that floor's been in probably 20 years. I've got, say, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 more to do.